The day I buried Sophie, I thought my world had ended. She was my everything, my light, my compass, my joy. For months, I walked around the house like a shadow of myself, clutching her favorite sweater, replaying her laugh in my head. But time, as cruel as it is, has a way of softening pain. And then there was Emily. She wasn't Sophie no one could be, but she was kind. She had a quiet warmth that coaxed me out of my grief, little by little. We started with coffee, then long walks, and when I smiled at her, it didn't feel like betrayal anymore. It felt like healing. That is, until the night Sophie came back. I was brushing my teeth when the bathroom mirror fogged up, though the window was open and the air was cold. At first, I thought it was a trick of my tired mind, but then the word appeared, no. I froze, staring at the faint letters scrawled in the condensation. Sophie, I whispered, my voice cracking. There was no answer, but I felt it, a presence. The hairs on my neck stood up, and the bathroom light flickered. The next day, Emily came over. I hadn't told her about the incident. How could I? She'd think I was crazy. She was sitting on the couch, laughing at some story she was telling. When the lights in the living room dimmed, is your power acting up? She asked, glancing at the ceiling. I opened my mouth to answer, but before I could, the vase on the coffee table, Sophie's vase, shattered. Glass flew everywhere. Emily gasped, jumping back. What the? I don't know, I stammered, my heart racing. But I did know. Sophie was here. That night, I dreamt of her. She looked just as she had before the accident, her auburn hair glowing in the sunlight, her green eyes piercing. But she wasn't smiling. She's not me, Sophie said, her voice cold.
She doesn't belong here.
I woke up drenched in sweat, her words echoing in my mind. Over the next few weeks, Sophie made her presence known. A chair would topple over if Emily sat in it. Her favorite picture frame would fall off the wall when Emily walked by. Once, the radio turned on by itself, blaring static until Emily left the room. I tried talking to her. Late at night, when the house was quiet, I'd sit in the dark and beg her to stop. I'll always love you, Sophie, I whispered into the emptiness. But I can't live in the past. I'm lonely. Please, let me move on. The temperature in the room dropped, and I swore I heard a faint laugh, bitter, hollow. Emily noticed. She didn't say it outright, but I could tell she felt unwelcome. She started coming over less, texting less. Eventually, she told me she needed space. Sophie got what she wanted. Now, the house is quiet again. Too quiet. I don't see Sophie anymore, but I feel her. She lingers in the shadows, watching, waiting. And every time I think about reaching out to Emily or anyone, I hear Sophie's voice in my head, soft but unyielding.
You're mine.